I wanted to talk to you. Obviously, you had a big week at the UFC. Some crazy stuff went down. With Ilia moving up to lightweight, vacating the title. You weren't able to announce it then, but is it safe to say that Ilia Islam is the fight that we're sort of working towards, or could he be fighting?
There's still other possibilities. So there's a lot of shit going on right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have said.
Did he vacate the belt, or did you guys say, if you're moving to lightweight, then we don't want to hold up the featherweight division?
No, he did that. He said, I've done everything I can do here. I'm ready to move up. And he vacated it. He said, I shouldn't be holding up anybody's opportunities. And, it's always, I respect when guys do that.
Diego Lopez said in an interview that the UFC are going to try and sort of stop double champs from happening in the future. So if this case happened, you would have asked Ilia to give up the belt. I don't know if that's a rule, but is that something you'd rather see guys actually vacate rather than try and do both at the same time?
Unless you think you can, defend your title. Listen, if there's a guy that thinks he can do it and wants to defend both belts and has accomplished all these great things, I would have no problem with it. But you're going to be busy.
Did you think he had more work to do at featherweight? Were you okay with his move, or did you think,
I think that he felt he had done everything with the guys that he beat. If you look at who he beat and how he beat them, right? And I don't think he loved making that weight anymore.
And then just talk to us about how Bilal ends up fighting Jack Della Maddalena, how you had to reshuffle all that, and your thoughts on that fight coming up.
Good, yeah. No, listen, a lot of shit happens behind the scenes, man. A lot of bullshit that we got to deal with, but that's the business. So whoever is next in line gets the title or the shot or whatever it might be. There's so many times that we've had people fall out, the night of. I mean, we've had lots of crazy shit happen, but it all worked out, and it usually does.
Okay, and just one more for me here. Obviously, Dustin Poirier is a name that we're hearing might have a fight booked here pretty soon. I know he's getting towards the end of his career. Any update on when we might see his fight book? Because I think a lot of fans are chomping at the bit to see him fight again.
I agree. There has been a lot of talk, and yes, we are working on a fight for him. Yeah.
Just two here, Dana.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey there. Regarding the super fights and the champ stuff, I feel like in the past there had maybe been more eagerness or enthusiasm about booking these super fights, whereas now, like when we even talk about Alex Pereira moving up or Dricus, you seem to want these guys to focus on their divisions. Has there been any sort of philosophical change in the matchmaking process about keeping guys in their divisions?
I mean, yeah, unless you've really wiped out a division and like John Jones, who was in lightweight forever and then moved up to heavyweight. Ilia, I get it. It makes sense, when I, like I said, who he's beat and how he beat him, and now he's tired of making weight and wants to move up to 50, totally makes sense. But no, I'm definitely, Weili Zhang that just asked me, she's accomplished just about everything you can accomplish in her weight division, and I don't have a problem with it, but I haven't, the philosophy hasn't changed. It's just on a case-by-case basis.
John Silva, it seems like you guys have like a superstar in the making with this guy. He's just kind of a madman.
Definitely a madman.
What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, he's fascinating, that's for sure. Sean Shelby is a big believer in him and thinks very highly of him. So
does that mean that maybe he gets like a top 50?
Listen, when the matchmakers love you like Sean Shelby loves him, it's never a bad thing.
He did call out Bryce Mitchell. Do you like that fight?
I bet there's a lot of people that do. I don't know. We'll see.
And then on the prelims, Austin Vanderfort's opponent pushed him after the fight.
Yeah.
I just kind of want your thoughts on that. And also, obviously, Paul Daly got banned so many years ago. Has policy changed like that? Or
he punched. Paul Daly punched
right.
Koscheck in the face. Listen, it's never good when you go over it, but I don't know why he went after him. I understand he was upset with the referee. And when you watch that fight, if you look, I get why he was upset. He was blocking a lot of the shots. He was blocking. He was still trying to get out of there. And as soon as the fight was over, listen, if a guy is taking a number of just unanswered shots and he's laying there on the ground, he was defending and moving around. And so I understand why he's upset, but yeah. Listen, you know how we are here. He went over and pushed the guy. What should we do? What Paul Daly did was completely different. You just had, you had 3 5-minute rounds to punch this guy in the face, and you couldn't. So you're going to go over and punch him in the face after the fight when he doesn't expect it? That's why that was done. He went over and pushed him. We aren't those guys.
But with that being said, you know, if a fighter does get physical after a fight, is that something that you can still lose your job over?
You should see what goes on back here after the fights. You guys would fucking be crying forever if you knew what went on. Be writing fucking all kinds of stories and what are you going to do to them? And believe me, that was nothing.
Fair enough. Thank you.
You've seen a lot of teams have these dominant moments, right? American Top Team has had great moments, a.k.a. Going back to John Silva and the Fighting Nerds, I mean, you got Carlos Prates, his teammate Caio Borraio. Just what do you think about the moment that whole team is having right now in the UFC?
Huge. And I will tell you this, Prates is a guy that we talk about every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we talk about him.
Do you have a fight for him that you could break the news for us?
No, but we're working on it. We talk about him every single... We talk about that guy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He's been talked about a lot lately.
And then finally, just want to ask the signing of Patricio Pitbull for the fight against Yair. Obviously, you know, you had talked about it, that it might be in the works. Essentially, what got the deal done to bring Patricio Pitbull into the UFC?
A phone call.
With who?
Him.
Love it.
Dana over here. I kind of want to springboard off of that with Patricio because I feel like there's a lot of parallels with him and Michael Chandler when he came in, kind of older established guy, Bellator legend, all these things. Do you think because of the age and where he's at in his career and, you know, fighting a guy like Yair on the same card as the featherweight title fight, is he more capable of getting a title shot quicker because of maybe not so much time left, or how do you kind of view that whole aspect?
I think that obviously he's going to get the opportunity now to come in here and challenge himself against the best in the world. And no matter where he's at in his career, beating Yair is a big deal. So he comes in and he beats Yair. You know, I don't know. We'll see. Again, like I said before, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But massive opportunity for him, and we're excited to give him it.
Is that fight kind of, you know, unofficial backup just in case of emergency because it's on there? It needed the guy.
I hate talking about backups. I hope not.
And just kind of in that same vein, too, another guy who was on the market, Aaron Pico, same division. Has there been any progress with him?
You know, I was telling you, Sean Shelby loves Silva. That guy loves Aaron Pico. So when these guys love you as much as they do, I think good things are probably going to happen.
And I guess the last one for me, actually, in terms of the Bantamweight division, you know, Sean O'Malley looking likely to rematch Merab, right? And we just got the Sandhagen announcement, too. I'm kind of curious how that matchmaking came to be. Was the idea always, again, I don't think the O'Malley one is official yet, right? But we're leaning towards that. How did we get there with so many different options? I think for Sean O'Malley, we could have done maybe an Aldo possibility. There's, especially with him, so many options. How did the Bantamweight division shake?
They want to fight each other. I think people want to see it. Good? Seriously? Thank you, Seattle. What a great experience.